Yeah, you got to ride the team bus now.
Talk about the team had to kind of reach in itself a little bit in the overtime, and they were able to do that. Talk about what you think carried them over the edge.
I really think the first half helped us with that, Todd. I can't remember if we got down 10 or what we got down, but we answered the bell. We went on a 23-3 run and played it awfully well at both ends of the court. We got going in transition. We didn't start out very good defensively. We weren't getting any stops, but once we got stops, we were awfully good for a while there in the first half. And talking to the guys at halftime, we knew it was going to be a slugfest. We knew it was going to get muddied up a little bit and get a little ugly. And we didn't play all that smart, but I tell you what, the guys really played hard.
Talk about the defensive concentration there in the last minute of overtime. You had to get some stops. Now they were able to get a steal and a shot, but for the most part, defensively, the guys did a pretty good job of concentrating in a pretty stressful situation.
They really did, and they got we missed some assignments, and they still scored a lot. I mean, that's a really good offensive team, and they have a lot of good weapons. We just tried to make them score in a fashion that they're not usually scoring, and what they want to do, Henderson's going to fire those threes, and those guys inside are going to follow it up and put it back in, which they did several times. But it was a tough physical game, and two teams really playing hard, and our guys certainly answered the bell. And they came over in overtime. There were some heads down. We were really disappointed. A guy like Odom, he's such a tough critic on himself. Made a turnover there. He's really beating himself up. But they picked themselves up and got that first one to fall and got it done in overtime.
Talk about Justin Gant and Jake Kitchell doing a pretty good job on Holloway and Buckner inside.
Those two guys are NBA caliber players. They're really good, and I was watching film on them. I was scared to death, to tell you the truth, and I didn't know how we're going to do against them. But Justin Gant is a very good basketball player, and if he competes like that and gets 11 boards and a double-double against a quality SEC opponent, he's just really good. And if he wants to compete and stick his nose in there, he did that against UCLA to start the year. If he gets to doing that all the time, he's going to be a really good player. And Kitch gave us quality minutes off the bench, fought like crazy, and got some key rebounds.
Yeah, as far as Justin is concerned, I mean, you mentioned the UCLA game. He had some moments against New Mexico, too. I mean, is this a turning point game where you can show him and say, look, this is what you did,
I hope
do
so.
it all the time?
I hope so. But, he's a young guy, too, and coming from Terre Haute North there, he's well coached, but in high school guys all the time, and especially bigger guys, they don't have to play that hard all the time. They're the biggest, best players on the floor, and officiating gets him a different way, makes him a little more passive, but he is very talented, and if he learns the physical side and then the competitiveness side all the time on a more consistent basis, he's going to be a really good player here for a long time.
You think the guys learned something from the New Mexico overtime loss that they maybe applied to this one in a different way to pull this one out?
Yeah, I think so. We had a big-time sense of urgency, and those guys, we fought like crazy because I thought they played awfully well in the second half and at the start of the game. And New Mexico, we were really disappointed because that would have been a great win over a ranked team and a high-quality opponent, and we let one slip away. We got defeated at the start of overtime when one of their shots went in, and it hurt us at the other end, and we kind of stood around and watched each other. But we had a lot of guys tonight trying to make plays, and it really helped.
Talk about the importance of this within the tournament. You're going to be in the winner's bracket, which means you're probably going to see good teams, obviously,
yeah,
and high RPI teams. Just talk about you don't have much time to really enjoy this one. It's next task at hand tomorrow.
You don't. And I told the guys, well, that's one of the three we came here to win. We really did. And I think their attention to detail and their preparation and having two good practices once we got over here. I think the key was coming over here a day early. It was awfully sloppy, but the guys worked hard in those two practices. And, yeah, we're going to get to play two good teams. Everybody in this tournament is really good, and it's a scary field, but that's the thing you get when you play in an ESPN tournament. And over here, the Diamond Head Classic, they've always done a great job with it. So we're going to let these guys enjoy it, but I promise you they're going to be ready to get ready for whoever we play next.
But there were significant stretches